Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott talking Bootstrap. And I'm now in I believe, the fifth of 11 lectures that I'm going to do from thewebgeeks.com. It looks like, yeah, number 5 of 11. So, another fairly short one. This one is on panels. Now, I do want to mention something. As far as I know, let me double check here. Nothing is working here. Well, that's the word well. Now, the only reason I'm just mentioning this to you is this particular section is on panels. Closely connected to panels are wells, which are not discussed in here. But, as always, I would strongly suggest that you have yourself a look. This is what we're creating in this example. I think I showed that to you before. But if I go out to getbootstrap.com and I look in here and I go, I don't know if it's under components or not, but I'm looking at components and there's wells, but there's panels. Alright, so they're going to show you how to make a basic panel. Alright, then a little later on, come on, they're going to talk about wells. And it says, use the well as a simple effect of an element to give it an inset effect. Well, I believe that the differences between wells and panels, and I don't even remember offhand, with one of them they have a lot more classes and there's a lot more stuff that you can do with them. I think it's wells that you can add other things that you can't add with panels, but it could be the reverse. And I'm sorry that off the top of my head I don't remember which is which. Okay? But in this example, again, we're going to talk about panels. It says, well, not necessary. Sometimes you need to put your DOM in a box. In other words, you need to put a box around whatever it is you're working with. So a bootstrap panel is a bordered box that puts some has some padding in it. Why do you need that? You can use it as an organizational mechanism, and you can use it, as it says, to enhance the user experience. So I've already gone through and I've added my panel.html and I've added my main setup. So here's their default example. So it says here, panels are created with the .panel class, and content inside of a panel has the panel body class. By default, all it does is to apply some basic border and padding. So let's take a look at the example that's here. Alright, so we come in here, and again, as always, right up above, or right before our where we adding our jQuery, we'll put that in there. So we've got a div. Notice it says panel default. And inside of there we've got another div that says panel body. So we've got a panel, and the panel includes a body. Both of those are in their own divs. So when we do this, and we save, and we run this, there's the basic panel. Not very much to this so far, as far as what we're looking at. Okay, so we've gone through on the handout page 1, page 2, and we're on page 3. So there's more examples in here. It says it's easy to add a heading to your panel with a panel heading. You may also include any H1 through H6 panel title. However, the fonts are going to be overridden by the panel heading. For proper link coloring, be sure to place links in headings within the panel title. So let's take a look at this next example that's here. Alright, so there's our first one, basic panel example. I'm going to leave that one there, and after this div, I'm going to add 4 line breaks. Alright, so let's save that. Just really having problems with the mouse today. Alright. So under these cases and examples, this is what I just mentioned, so we're going to try to add this one right here. These 15 lines. paste that in, and here it is. And we'll take a look at that. Now it says here, panel heading without title. All right? Because there's no panel title that's put in there. We're going to put one in the next example. So here's the first one. In fact, let's just come in here. I'm going to do this. I don't normally do it like this, but I'm going to anyway. Let me just grab all this stuff and get rid of it. So I've got everything here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first one that I put in and leave it here. Whoops, I guess I got to use HTML comments. And I'm going to take the second one that we have here and I'm going to comment that one out. Control S to copy. And where are my line breaks? I'm going to put those line breaks in there also. So those will go right here. So you already saw the example of the first one. There it was. And there's our second one. A few lines down. Panel heading without a title. Panel content goes here. All right. So now let's come in and let's take this next one here and let's uncomment this. In fact, let's change this where I've got 4 line breaks, and let's just make it 2. It looked a little bit extreme the way that it was, so we'll do that. All right. So now, rather than just these 2 examples, this one will be pushed up, halfway up, and then we'll have another one down below it when I refresh. There it is, and there's the panel title. Okay? So as always, what we have here are a series of examples. Not only can you put a header in, you can put a footer in. All right, so let's grab that one and take a look at the one here. If you are following along here, that's the bottom of page 4, and it goes on to page 5. All right. Now I'm lucky because my next door neighbor has just started mowing his lawn, so if you're hearing something in the background, that's what it is. All right, so let me again add the 2 line breaks. And we'll put this in. And you'll notice what's different in here. There's our body, here's our footer. We did not have a footer previously. Again, this is a little bit of a contrived example just because of the fact that normally what you would have here, all right, let's put this down so it's more reminiscent of the other one. Normally, again, the way that you would set this up is you'd use some CSS. So this is just going to all bleed together, and that's not normally what would happen. So there's our new one, our panel content, and our panel footer. All right, so we have 4 examples in here, as you can see already. All right, contextual alternatives. This is the bottom of page 5. Like other components, it's easy to make a panel more meaningful to a particular context by adding contextual state classes. Now, you'll notice if we take a look at what's in there, at the example that's right here on the screen, remember these colors. All right, primary I think is like a bluish, success I believe is green, Warning is a yellowish orange. Danger is red. And the info, I don't remember if that's green or not. But we're going to take a look at that. All right. And then after that, we're going to look at using panels with tables and with list groups. Okay, and then we'll put another lesson to rest. So again, I'm going to grab this, copy it to the clipboard, come down to here, and again, you've seen all these now, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to comment all the ones we've done thus far out. So as always, you could go back and uncomment them if you were so inclined. All right. Now this isn't going to look like much because there's 3 dots in here, which is, to me, is kind of stupid the way that the author has set this up. But so I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this here to primary. How about this? Panel, primary, panel, success, panel, info, panel, warning, and finally panel danger. Okay, so there they all are. And remember now that once I go, these are all going to go away and they'll be replaced by what's left. All right, so there's primary, success, info, warning, and danger. Now, the only question that I have is if I look at the master one, just that one, heading content, yeah. Well, I was looking to see if in the, see, notice that here they have, notice the colors, and I'm not seeing the colors on mine, which is a little worrisome. So let's look. Panel primary, panel success, panel info, panel warning, panel danger. So I guess what they want us to do is to come in here and do the same kind of, I got it now. They want us to come in here and put in the same stuff that's in here. Okay, so I'll do that. Give me a second here. Now I get it. A little slow on the uptake, but so for each one of these, I want to add the stuff that you see in here. So I want all of this. So where it's got panel content, I'm going to change this to panel primary. Okay. Now I believe that that's correct, but just to be sure, I'm going to save this and I'm going to come back and refresh and try it again. So that was this one. Still not, I see colors here, but I'm not seeing my colors. Maybe that's just the color that's around it. I don't know. But I would have thought I would have had something working in here with colors, which I don't have right now. is. I might be overriding it with that one, the panel default. Let's see if that made a difference. Panel primary, panel body, panel primary, panel footer, panel primary body, panel primary footer. Okay. I wouldn't think since this is the div, since this div is encompassing all of this, I would think that that would be set the way that this is. I shouldn't have to say in here class equal panel body, panel primary. I don't think I'd have to do that. That would make no sense. But I need that. So let's see if I've changed anything. Alright, it looks like this does have a little coloring in it, but it sure as hay isn't much. So I'm going to copy each one of these down. Copy. So this one now, instead of primary, will be success. See, I like doing this because I don't know about you, but this is how I learn something. Alright, there's the success body and footer. Again, I'm having problems with coloring. It just isn't picking it up. But I'm going to put them all in anyway, so that at least you have them. Perhaps you can take a look at them and make them do something that I couldn't make them do. Alright, so this is success. Info. So that's info body and info footer. Alright, let's just do the last couple of them here. So that's warning, and that's warning. Finally, that's going to be danger, and that's going to be danger. Okay? Alright, so all of these are now done. Again, I'm not seeing the color. I am seeing a little bit of color, but not really the color I would be expecting to see. Okay? But at least you've seen them, and they are set up, and to my knowledge at least, they're set up correctly. Alright, panel warning, etc. Again, I'm not sure what the problem is. See, they're showing the headings, at least, are all in that color, and I'm not getting that. But the only difference is, instead of saying, we didn't put a heading in here into any of these, did we? So let's do that. I apologize for this, but I'm having fun anyway. Alright, panel heading. So this is panel primary. Put one of these in each one. In fact, let's do that first. Let's double check this. Now let's got our color. Good start. Alright, I'm a happy man. Don't need that. So there's primary. Here is success. This should have said panel primary header. Alright, so I'm going to grab this one that I just did. It's got the right writing in it. And I'm going to bring that down here. So this will say panel info header. This one here will say panel warning header. And the last one will say panel danger header. Not danger. Alright, so let's look. We're getting our colors. They don't resonate real well, but hopefully you can see them as you're taking a look through here. Alright. Alright, panels with tables. As we move onward and upward, panels with tables, again, this particular example here is 9 pages long, and I am now turning on to page 6. On page 6, turning on to page 7, panels with tables. You can add any non-bordered dot table within a panel for a seamless design. If there is a panel body, we add an extra border to the top of the table for separation. So, what we'll do is, I've already got all this stuff, so at the bottom I'm going to add this table. Okay, you'll see it. It'll come together in just a minute. Let's do it for the last one here, right before this final div. So I'm going to hit enter again, paste. There's the table. Remove that line in just a minute. All right. And let's actually put the table values as they're shown in there. So, # name and age. Again, probably this isn't going to be spaced as it is. And I know I forgot my TR tag. So let's put that in. We've got 1 Fabio 21, 1 Fabio 21, and we've got 2, Rahela 32. So that will be our data that we'll put in just a second. TR, TD, 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 TD. Copy that info that you see below it in just a minute. TR, and then we'll copy this whole thing down. Alright, now let's put all our info in. Alright, so that is our whole table, and we have to see how that looks now. So that'll be at the bottom, so it'll be down here. And there's our table. That looks a little screwed up, but let's see if we can fix that. It's like we've got an extra blank table element in here or something. TR, don't have any TD tags, which may be screwing that up. In fact, let's take all the other ones that we had in here. We know now that those work, so let's also comment those out, and we will just put in the last one that has actually our table information in it. So just our danger. All right. And that straightened it up. Okay. Again, we could play with CSS and make this look a whole heck of a lot better than it does right now. All right. So we've done the table. Panels with list groups. As we move onward, I'm on to page 8 of 9. In addition to tables, Bootstrap also allows you to do panels with list groups. So let's comment out, in fact, let's leave the table in there and we'll put the list group in after the table. All right, so I'm going to grab this. In fact, let's do this first. There's our table, and I'm going to open up some space here and come back to here, grab our list group, which is right here, copy that. Oh, no, wait a minute, we've got this already. Now, hold on. Panel default, boom, 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 panel heading, etc. We've got all that stuff. Let's just copy in the list group. That's all we need. Again, if you're more comfortable with that, we can take our table now and we can comment that out too. Okay. And there's our list group. Again, I love this series of articles, but what I don't like about this series of articles, you know, this is not much different, in my humble opinion, right here, okay, than just using lorem ipsum text. So let's say list group item 1. I don't know if what I'm just doing right here is going to make this better or worse, but we're going to try it anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I've got all that. Let's take this again and there's our list group. Okay. All right, we've pretty much come to the end of the chapter here. So the author concludes on page 9 by saying that panels in Bootstrap are another tool pre-styled and in harmony with other Bootstrap framework elements. It helps you show information in a clean and elegant way, so the idea is by putting these in a box, so to speak, all right, you're able to make things look cleaner. And I believe that you can come in and you can do some styling with those boxes also. There's no reason that I can think of that they would have to take up the entire 100% that they are right now. So I'm done with this, and I'm done with this, and with this. All right, so we're done with panels, and I'm going to grab this, copy again, paste, and the next one we're going to go over, it's a big one. It's on forms. All right, so we're going to do forms and tables and probably layouts. If I can, if I've got it in me, I'm going to do those 3 tonight, which will leave me 3 more. I don't know if I have those in me, which are just modals, popovers, and tooltips. All right, maybe I'll do those tomorrow or whenever. But Bootstrap, this one will be Bootstrap form examples. All right, oopsie, don't want to do Yeah, I do. And so that will be 06 forms dot. Oops, try that again. 06 forms dot HTML. Okay, so there's that. And as always, just because it'll make it a little easier for me to get started, so there's the form example. Extract that. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Again, this next chapter is a little bit bigger than the previous one, but if we take a look, this is what we'll be creating. All right. If we click submit, no, we're not doing any validation, it looks like at least. All right, so I will be back momentarily to talk about forms.